Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt from Fierce Gaming, back today with another Overwatch video. Today we're talking about the new Sombra or Sombra 2.0. This video was requested by a subscriber, so shout out to Leave It Erdem. I'm really sorry if I botched that name, man, but thanks for giving me this video idea. If you want me to cover something else, just put it down in the comments and I will see what I can do. I've already done a video about which support heroes have synergy with which offense heroes. You can find a section on Sombra in that video, so I will leave a link in the top right corner right now so you can watch that. There will also be a link at the end of the video if you want to finish this video first, but right now, let's jump into it. Since Sombra 2.0 has been released, I think the most surprising thing about her is how many people all over the ranks from Silver to Masters don't read the patch notes. They don't understand what's going on. I've been in super intense games where there are ridiculously close results, and out of nowhere, the worst thing to hear is somebody switch to Sombra and think their game glitched because her invisibility isn't expiring, or Lucio's circle seems bigger than usual. Read the patch notes for Christ's sakes before playing a comp game in Masters. So in the spirit of full disclosure, let's review Sombra 2.0. Her invisibility now lasts indefinitely as long as you don't make an action or receive damage. The only actions you can do and stay invisible is throwing your translocator, destroying your translocator, and reloading. Keep that last one in mind. While in stealth, you only receive a 50% speed boost instead of a 75% speed boost like it used to be. Your translocator now also lasts indefinitely, but can be destroyed by you or your enemies, and it only has 5 health. If you destroy it by your own ability, the cooldown only lasts 2 seconds, while if it is destroyed or used, the cooldown is 4 seconds. That is very distinct. Remember that. It is important, and many people that are familiar with Sombra 2.0 still don't know that. Lastly, since she can be invisible forever, Blizzard decided that she can no longer have a presence on the payload or point unless uncloaked, so when invisible, you can't capture points or move the payload. One of the major reasons the pros were calling for the death of the new Sombra in the meta was the increase of detection radius from 2 meters to 4, which was in the initial PTR patch, but has not been implemented in the actual game as of right now, and I feel like it is going to stay this way. Sombra still has a detection radius of 2 meters, and being detected by an enemy does not break stealth unless they damage you. Let's talk about how to play the new Sombra. Sombra 2.0 was created for 2 reasons: initiation and target prioritization. The first thing and most important to learn with the new Sombra is initiation. Her invisibility and translocator have unlimited time now, so you can get behind the enemy and take the time you need to look for an opening wherever that may be. The most popular is going to be Reinhardt. Hacking the lead Reinhardt right before your team engages is devastating. That's something you should always look for. If the enemy is running dive, you might target a diva or move in the backline for a kill. Mercy is relatively easy to take out since once she is hacked, she cannot flee with her movement abilities. The idea is lurk in the shadows, place your translocator in a safe spot, hidden but not far from combat, possibly close to a hacked health pack, and wait for the right moment to hack a key target or have your team engage. Your team should always consider hack the same way they consider a Discord orb. It is a mark of death, and if you see it, your team not prioritizing that target, communicate that to them. Although there is somewhat of a pretty big visual cue on the person who is hacked, it is still your job to communicate that to the entire team. The hack target should always be priority number 1, and with that being said, you have to hack the right target. Some of the best targets to hack are Diva, Pharah, Doomfist, Genji, Tracer, Lucio, and Bridget. All these characters rely on their abilities to either move or stay alive, and a hack makes them very easy to kill. Sombra's hack is one of the best abilities in the game that can really just screw up enemies' plans. I've seen Sombras expecting a Graviton Dragon Strike, hide right behind a Hanzo, wait for the grab, and then hack the Hanzo and cancel the dragon to save their team. She is someone you have to play with a little to get the feel for, and she can really have a devastating impact on the enemy team. Because of her relatively low DPS though, sometimes it feels like you're not doing enough, and it is kind of a bad feeling when you're not constantly getting kills, you can't 1v1 in out and open, but understand that her real power lies in her hack and EMP. Let's talk about that EMP for a moment. There are 2 ways to engage with the EMP. Number 1 is like above. Put your translocator in a safe spot, maybe use high ground, get in the middle of the team and press Q. However, most of the highlights you're going to see of Sombra EMPing shows her throwing her translocator in the middle of the team and teleporting there to EMP. This is the most popular option as it makes the EMP harder to stop. However, I actually don't like this, and there's a few reasons why. The worst thing that can happen is a Zenyatta is going to get off a counter transcendence which is basically what they're trained to do when they see a translocator fly in the middle of their team. I think it is better to just use your 50% movement speed, and possibly, if you can utilize high ground, do, where available, rely on the translocator as just a backup. People will disagree, but that's just semantics. That's my idea. Obviously, I could be wrong. I don't think I am. And there is definitely moments where you're going to want to throw your EMP in the middle of combat, like I stated above. Contrary to popular belief, even though the animation seems to hack everything in the big ball area, it only hacks and destroys shields in her line of sight, meaning you can miss people who are behind structures. Now, shields don't include in that. Most of the time when an ult is stopped by structures, it is also stopped by enemy shields. The EMP doesn't care about enemy shields. It goes through them. If it can't see the middle of it, if it can see the middle of the shield, it will destroy that shield. A lot of people believe that if you're in the ball, you're hacked, but that is not right. Now, obviously, when the EMP happens, it hacks and destroys all shields in the AoE and line of sight, which means you have 6 seconds, and those 6 seconds are vital to securing the right kill. Rarely are you going to win the entire team fight in those 6 seconds, which means during it, you have to single out and take the right picks to guarantee that once the hack expires, the remaining members cannot win the fight. Target number 1 is always Zenyatta. If there's a Zenyatta, make sure you get him in it, because he goes immediately to 50 health. And the worst part about it is, if Zenyatta survives the Transcendence, one of the few ways that enemy teams can recover is through his Transcendence. It is the best way for their team to stabilize, so make sure you are prioritizing Zenyatta number 1. It's also a great time to quickly destroy Torb turrets because how stationary they are and easy to dispatch. There are many tips and tricks with Sombra like any hero, but I'm going to go over a few you probably haven't heard of before. Obviously, you can just YouTube that. You're going to come up with 500 tips for each individual situation that you might not ever find yourself in, but there are a few that are better than others. So let's go ahead and start these off. I got an interesting one to start. First of all, when Sombra is invisible, understand she cannot be targeted by auto-aim mechanics such as Torb turrets, Moira Ball, and McCree's Deadeye. That's obvious. But if she is revealed by other methods, such as Hanzo's Sonic Arrow or Widow's Infrared Sight, although you are still technically invisible, auto-aim mechanics can see you. So if you're invisible and in Widow's ult, McCree can still Deadeye you. Next up, during Sombra's reload animation, this is something that you will see good Sombras do, and if you really want to know if your Sombra on your own team is decent, see if she does it. It is something you should do every single match, every single time you are playing with Sombra. We're talking about the reload animation of her machine pistol. Understand that technically, the reload is completed the second that she puts the magazine into the gun. You'll hear a distinct click, and if you watch the bullet count on your heads-up display, you'll see that when the click happens, it is reloaded. You'll go back to 60 bullets, so you can use any ability to cancel the rest of the animation. You can melee to get in free damage without losing any time whatsoever within your shots, even if there's nobody anywhere near you. I advise you to do it just so it's second nature, and sometimes when you're in the middle of combat, you'll just do it because you've been trained to do it. It is better, it is free damage, and you lose no time. Fun fact, if you time it perfectly, you can actually save a few milliseconds by activating your hack and then dropping it. Get into the habit of doing it every time, and you'll increase your damage overall without compromising anything. Next up, try not to EMP people who are in Zarya's bubble. I know this is a little bit less of a unique tip, it's pretty obvious actually, but understand that if you EMP somebody that's in a bubble, you will hack them, but you will not destroy the shields that are on them, and you will technically destroy that bubble, giving Zarya full charge. It's not going to decay the shields of anybody in the bubble, so if a Zenyatta's in that bubble, he's going to retain his 200 HP. Next up, we're talking about her Opportunist passive ability. It is incredibly powerful, but it can be misleading if misunderstood. Understand, it shows targets below their 50% original health pool, which means Tracer can have anywhere from 1 to 74 health, which is really low, granted, but a Roadhog or a Diva can have up to 299 health. So don't always assume just because they glow, they are low. Finally, a ton of people don't know, but hacking a target actually shows if their enemy has their ult. So try to keep an eye out for that and communicate that to your team. It is right above their health bar. On the same topic, this is more of a flat out tip for any hero at any time, but it is something that I cannot stand to see, especially in higher ranked matches. matches. Understand, every single time that you die, watch the kill cam for just a second just to see if the enemy has their ult. It's free information. A lot of people get into the habit of skipping it as soon as they die, or if they're upset, they just slam that button, skip the kill cam. Don't. Watch it. Look at their heads up display. See if they have their ult. See if they're close to their ult. It is the easiest way to update your information on ult tracking. It's free info. Communicate it. It's small things like that that add up. That's going to be all for today, guys. As always, thanks for watching. If there was anything I didn't address in this video that you would like to see, please leave it in the comments and I will respond. Also, I advise checking out a streamer called Fitzy here. He is a Sombra main who has played Sombra almost exclusively since her release. He gives some great Sombra advice. He is one of my favorite streamers, so definitely check him out. And in other news, if you have a video subject you would like me to cover just like this one, leave it in the comments. I'll get it out there as soon as possible. As always, guys, we really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us here at Fierce Gaming. If you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe. We are a brand new channel. We see every subscription, so thank you guys so much. Until next time, guys, check out some of our other videos and make sure to come back next time for that final episode of our 3-part series on support and other character synergies. We're finishing up with the tanks, which healers are the best for each individual tank. Until next time, guys, this is Matt from Fierce Gaming signing off. As always, I'll see you guys out there.